What is going on, everybody? This is SStock21 welcoming you to my YouTube channel.
That's a pretty fancy intro you got right there, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
What is going on, everybody? This is SStock21 coming to you with a story about the time that I broke my finger. Okay, so it was a cold winter night with overcast skies and light snow falling. And I looked at my parents and said, I want to go bowling. And both my mom and stepdad agreed. So we got ready, we put our coats on, and I put on my boots. Right? I didn't have snow boots, but I had hiking boots, so they were close enough. We all got in the car, and we drove about 10 minutes, and we got to the bowling alley. We get out of the car, we walk in, we say, we want to play bowling. I guess that's what we said, I don't know, something like that. We want to bowl. So, we paid for 3 people, right, so we could bowl, and we paid for food. We ordered a bunch of food, right? You got mushrooms and cheese sticks, fries, onion rings, chicken wings. I mean, everything. We spent probably like $40 or $50 just on crap food. That's what we call it in my house, crap food, because it's not healthy for you, but you love to eat it. So anyway, we ordered all this food, and they go and they sit down and they take off their shoes and put on the bowling shoes. So I do the same thing. I don't sit in the big boy chairs because I'm only 8 and I couldn't reach the ground if I were to try and take off my shoes. So I sit on the steps. I take off my boots and I put on my bowling shoes. Simple enough, right? Well, they go and get their bowling balls and come back, and I was like, well, I'm going to go get my own because I'm 8 and that's what I do. I'm independent. I'm going to get my own bowling ball. So I went and was searching on all the racks, trying to find a ball I could actually pick up, trying the 14 pounds and then the 10 pounds and then the 8 pounds, and all of them were really, really heavy because, I was 8. So I found a 6-pound ball. I was like, oh, awesome. I can actually pick this one up. Let's use this to bowl. So I pick it up and I'm carrying it in both hands. And I go to walk down the steps towards the bowling lane and I trip. Can you guess what I tripped on? Yeah. My boots that I had taken off just a couple minutes earlier. So, what happens is I trip and fall forward down the stairs. Now, obviously, falling down the stairs isn't fun, but you just go, meh, and you're kind of embarrassed. Well, the only difference between falling down the stairs and what happened to me was the bowling ball that I had carried. I actually threw up in the air as I fell so I could catch myself with my hands. So, the bowling ball went about 5 feet in the air above where I was already standing, so it was probably already 4 feet off the ground, and then add 5 feet onto that, and then I fell down and caught myself. Then the bowling ball came down. The bowling ball landed straight on my left ring finger. It hit right on the end, like right on the tip, and it popped the nail out of the back, turned my whole finger blue, and there was blood everywhere. It was ridiculous, like insta blood all over the place. So I start screaming and they're not even paying attention. They're trying to figure out what the names are on the bowling and how to do this and that. Then my mom turns around, she's like, oh my god. So they rushed me into the bathroom and put my hand under the faucet, and that was terrible. And that was probably the worst pain of the whole thing, was putting it under running water. That was so bad. Okay, anyway, moving on from that because now my finger hurts. Okay, so after running it under the water, we wrapped it up in some paper towels, and we're like, well, I can't bowl, so we have to go to the hospital because I had just broken my finger. You could definitely tell that something was really wrong since my whole finger was blue and the nail popped out. So we go to leave, and as we're leaving, all our food's ready, and my stepdad says, oh, just give it to someone and tell them that they want it as part of a giveaway. So we didn't even get to eat all of our great food. Like, that was so bad. That was probably the worst part of the story, is that we didn't get all the nice food. But anyway, we're sitting in a car, and my stepdad is driving, and I'm in the back seat with my mom, and I'm going, I'm never gonna eat again. I'm never gonna bowl again. I'm never gonna write again. Like, my world was ending because I broke a finger. I was never gonna be able to do anything with my hands because I'm right-handed. So I can still do everything, even though it was a broken left finger. Whatever. I was 8. Give me some slack. So we get to the hospital, and I'm making a huge scene. My finger's broken. So they take me back, and this guy takes a needle and just goes boop and puts it into my finger, and I don't feel anything. That was pretty great. Then they took an x-ray and they found out that I had fractured my finger in 3 different places, and I actually split the bone right down the middle. So it was broken on the left side, on the right side, and it split right down the middle. And I had also popped out the nail. That one you could see for yourself, though. So what ended up happening is they gave me 7 stitches, and they wrapped up my finger and told me that I was just going to have to let the nail fall off because it was dead. It was going to fall off anyway because it had popped out and all that. So wrapped it up, and this isn't just a little wrap. I'm saying like wrapped it up. Like this thing was about 6 inches in diameter around my finger. This thing was huge. Huge. It looked like I was carrying a water bottle on my finger. So that was pretty bad. That's why my left finger is a little bit flat. I don't know. It looks a little bit weird. You can definitely tell that there's some scars on there. But anyway, the story continues. So I get home, and one of the things that I was told to do was to lay down, take it easy, and then rest my finger up above my heart. That way, I don't know, the blood would leave there and it would stop the swell. I don't know. They had some medical reason. I didn't get it. But anyway, so I'm laying there, and one of my friends from down the street comes in and says, "Hey, do you want to come out and play?" And I kind of looked at her funny, and then I looked at my mom, and she looked at me, and I said, "No, I can't. I broke my finger." So that kind of sucked. And they also made fun of me because it was a really huge wrapping. It was really, really big. It was really weird. Anyway, continuing on, after the wrap was gone, I ended up getting a metal cast thing. So it just went over the top and the bottom of my finger, and it had like foam padding on the inside, and it was just to keep me from screwing it up. So you could see the stitches. I still had the black stitches in there. You could see them on both sides, and then it was just stuck in its little, I don't know, metal foam thing to keep me from re-breaking it. So after that goes away, I had to get the stitches removed, which that was really weird too. That kind of hurt when the nurse was really mean. She didn't even give me a warning, didn't say this might hurt a little bit. She went snip, whoosh, and ripped it out. I was like, wow. Yeah, so that was bad. Anyway, now, after all of that has happened, I still suck at bowling. Doesn't matter what I do. I still suck. If I get 100 pins in one game, that's a good game for me. But I do have pain in my left finger. It's numb in certain spots. I can't feel it on the front, a couple spots on the sides, and then one spot underneath. If I hit it on something, man, does it hurt, because the way that my bone reformed is that there's still kind of like a hairline fracture there that if I hit it on something, it will fracture further, so then I just keep re-breaking my bone further and further. So that kind of sucks. But it's not too bad. I just don't whack it on anything. But the biggest difference is, you know how there's, 2 joints on your fingers? You've got the one where your first knuckle is and the second knuckle. I don't have control over that second knuckle joint. I can't bend it there. So my finger is basically dead from that knuckle down. I have no movement control. I can still use it. I can bend it if I bend the other fingers around it, but if I try to bend it on its own, it doesn't work. Only the first knuckle bends. So yeah, that's the story of the time that I broke my left ring finger. I'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, click the video on the left to take you to the previous video, click my speed drawing and the 3D question mark on the right to take you to a random video, and as always, be sure to hit the big red button down below to subscribe.